Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're all doing well. Like always, guys, any pairs you're looking at, feel free to let me know. Think you deep. We'll get into those straight away. Pound JPY and Euro JPY. Like always, if you are looking for a broker or looking to experiment with brokers, IC Markets is the broker I'm currently using right now. Feel free to go and check that out. I've got my affiliate link there if you want to use it as well. If you want to follow my trades, I've got a Telegram channel for that as well. Link in the description and also in the chat there as well. So hope you're all doing well. Like always, guys, going to walk you through the charts. There was a few pairs that I was looking at yesterday. Still got my eyes on those same pairs today. But yeah, we'll start off with Pound JPY and Euro JPY as well. Okay, so yeah, Pound JPY was a pair that I was looking at yesterday, looking for some shorts, and we have broken through that level that I was looking for Pound JPY to hold. Again, we've been looking quite bullish over the past couple of days for Pound JPY, so we did break through that one quite easily, and now we're pushing to the upside at past this point here. So for Pound JPY, for me, unless we climb back underneath this level, it could push into 164. There's this area here that could potentially save Pound JPY from flying. We could do something like this and see some downside, because this was our kind of like a lower high before we did take that dive. So if we can hold this 162,500 level, there could be some nice shorts. A little bit aggressive because everything is looking quite bullish right now, as you can see on the daily chart. So shorts from there definitely will be aggressive. In fact, the better trade would probably be if we can come back down, retest this former higher low and push to the upside and just maintain this bullish trend here, because again, looking on the higher time frames, weekly, daily, 4H, everything is still quite bullish for Pound JPY, and the fact that we haven't held that level for that head and shoulders we're looking for means that the buys are still strong, resistance is breaking, support is holding. So if we do come back and retest that area, find support and a higher low, there could be some really nice buys from this, and just follow the overall bullish trend back to highs, back into 164, into this area here. So Pound JPY for me still looking bullish. It could go bearish again. It's only Wednesday. We could see the first half of the week, Monday, Tuesday, and possibly most of Wednesday be bullish, and then we could turn around Thursday and Friday. But we need to see something drastic happen to take this back bearish, because everything is looking bullish right now. So if you look at the trade Pound JPY, the fact that we're back above 161,500, I'll be looking for a retest of that for another higher low to be placed. Higher low, looking for one more, and then continuations higher. Shorts, I'd wait for this whole trend line support to break, and then catch the resistance for a lower high, and then some sales back down into some of these areas. So I think that's the only way I'll look to short. Again, I did say potential shorts from this area, but it is definitely aggressive, and I probably wouldn't take shorts from there, looking at what the 4H and the daily is doing. So yeah, Pound JPY for me, if it stays above this and has a successful retest, probably is going to make its way to 164, back to highs. I'm not sure if we'll break those highs. We'll probably come back and retest them, and then we'll see what happens from there. But if you can break back below, cool, shorts are back on, and we can start to see a bit more downside, possibly back to 158. But right now, the buyers are definitely in control of this one. So yeah, if we do a successful retest, onwards and upwards for Pound JPY. Euro JPY, not so much yet though. We've seen some bullish momentum, but I'm still looking at the shorts for this one. Again, we still haven't come back to retest that area, which I was talking about yesterday. I said if Euro JPY is to come back and retest this area here for maybe a double top here, could be some nice shorts to take this one lower. Again, similar to Pound JPY, I'm still looking for shorts for this one for a move to the downside, looking for that next lower high. Hopefully price can rally up a little bit more before turning bearish. You can see we had a lot of consolidation yesterday across Asian as well. Big push to the upside. We'll see what happens from that, but I am looking at a little bit more upside for Euro JPY for the drop from around 135,600, 135,700. and then from there I'm looking at sales back down into the daily wicks. So first one would be this area here, second and third, just come back and retest these areas. That is where if I do get into any Euro JPY sales, that is where I'll be looking for them to head to. So looking for shorts for Euro JPY, maybe a bit more upside needed. I wouldn't really short into here. A bit more upside needed. Price looks like it is reacting to kind of this level here, but it's a bit of a minor level. So I would hope price goes a little bit higher first, forms that double top, and then sells off from there for Euro JPY. But yeah, I'm looking at shorts on both of them. Hey, welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Good to see you all on the stream. Yeah, sure, we'll take a look at, scalping gold on the 5 minute. 5 and 15 minute bear ball. Okay, we'll take a look at gold for that set in a second. Hey Nima, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Went long on GJ 160.295, currently 160 pips up. Nice. Expecting to go for a new high. Yeah, it could do, to be fair, if it does follow the higher time frame momentum. And stays above 161 500. It looks like it could go back to 164, maybe even higher. But yeah, we'll take a look at gold. Pound CHF as well. Okay, we'll get into Pound CHF. But yeah, we'll take a look at gold. Okay, so gold, yeah, it's still doing the same thing it was doing for the past few days now. It's rebounding against that 1917 level. I mean, overall on the daily chart, it's still holding that same support. So nothing's changed from that perspective. That support is still holding strong. You can see with all those wicks into that into that level. So that support is still holding strong. Yesterday we were looking at this one on the 30 minute, and I said I'm looking for gold to roll over. Again, New York session absolutely ripped to the upside, taking out a lot of liquidity above this kind of highs all across here, and then it dumped to the downside, which is quite a common theme for gold coming from London to New York. It does normally do like a weird move before it actually does follow through and what normally you would expect it to do. Which is why it's quite popular to trade during New York. Again, I don't really day trade gold, so that's not really for me. But yeah, we did eventually roll over back into that support, and now again that support is being rejected and hold firmly quite well. But like I said, I'm not really trying to get involved in this area for gold. It's just way too choppy. Again, this looks to be lower highs forming, so it's telling me that the bears are winning this battle, and this support here probably will break. Again, I'm saying that with a pinch of salt because you don't really know until it breaks, until it actually does break, because it's right now still holding firm and it could start to fly, but because of the lower highs, it's telling me that the bears are winning the battle just about, and I would probably expect gold in the next couple of days or so to break through this, maybe even today actually, break through this support and head back to these lows down here. So that's what I'm expecting for gold. But let me go to the lower time frames for you. 5 and 15. I'll start with 15. So 15, crazy momentum there from that same support, 1917, as we spoke about. We're coming into this kind of area here. So yeah, there could actually be some nice shorts here. A little bit aggressive, but I reckon there could be some nice shorts because this is the resistance that price was holding yesterday. So this is prior daily's resistance, and then it got manipulated with that big push and big spike, and you can tell this is a bit of a fake move because we had exaggerated move up followed by an exaggerated move back down. So essentially, this kind of never happened really. This resistance held firm and we dropped. This was just to trick a lot of people out. And now we're coming back to retest that same area. So if we hold this area on 1932, 1934, and not break above this, I would expect gold to see some downside right back down into 1917. We're taking out these highs here. I think that's going to form a nice lower high for us. Another rollover back to the downside. Take out this high, then we're probably coming back to here. Yeah, it's a little bit choppy if that happens, to be honest, but I'm staying in line with the theme that these are lower highs. So I'm just going to be expecting another lower high to form, and this looks like a good place for that. Fibs come into that 0.61 or almost 0.618 area as well. So yeah, if we can hold this 1932, 1934, yeah, I would expect gold to come straight back down actually. From a 15-minute point of view, 5-minute probably just the exact same thing, but just more price action really. Yeah, I would expect price to roll over. Maybe you could wait for a double top or something, but yeah, I would expect price to come back down to that 1917 area there, back into that support. I know it's holding firm, but these lower highs are what's controlling the price action right now. We've tried to go bullish twice with a lot of momentum, but the bears keep holding strong. So 1932, 1934, if you can hold that, expecting gold to come right back down into 1917, and that's where I'll be waiting to see if it can break, looking for that retest for a bigger move to the downside, mainly back into 1870. So, which is this area down here, is where I'm looking for gold to come back into. But at the end of the day, price action is just a little bit choppy in that area, so it's always going to be a little bit tricky trying to trade in that. But hey, if you want to trade gold at that time, feel free to do so. But I'll be waiting for the break of that support to see if I can catch that breakout to the downside. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for gold. Same as yesterday, break to the upside, break to the downside, and then I'll make up my mind. But that is what I'm looking for. If we break to the upside, we'll be looking at 2,000 up there. But yeah, I hope that helped with gold and that made sense. But I'll take a look at pound CHF. Okay, so pound CHF seeing some momentum right now on the daily chart there with that bullish candle. Obviously, the day's still got 11 hours left, but we are rejecting a higher time frame level of support here. As you can see, big moves to the upside previously, and now we're rejecting that same area again. So obviously that area is holding quite firm, but the market is still bearish, so this could easily still be another lower high forming for a rollover back to the downside here. So if you're looking at pound CHF, it's a little bit choppy, I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, definitely not one of my favorite pairs. But yeah, if pound CHF maybe could push up a little bit further, and then I think we could see some downside from that. I mean, it has come into this area here, so we could see that downside momentum come. I was thinking mainly from this resistance here, but we might not see that move. I mean, either one of these levels would be a great place to sell, really. Coming back for the retest of this level here, form the support there, false break of that support, held the support again, broke through the support, now coming back to test the underside of it as resistance. If we can hold this, could see a nice rollover back to the downside. Got a sell limit currently. Yeah, whereabouts is your sell limit? Because these are the two areas I would probably be looking at for pound CHF. 1.2222, which is that support time resistance, and also 1.22660. These are the highs I would probably be looking at, but again, the lower highs are still telling me that the market is bearish. So if a rally like that, would be getting ready to short it back down again. No further than that support, to be honest, because it's been retested 2 or 3 times now, so I wouldn't look past 1.21 max with some shorts on pound CHF. But yeah, whereabouts is your sell limit? Because yeah, everything right now, even on the weekly, is still looking quite bearish. So yeah, Either one of those two areas, I would be looking for sells. Probably drop to the hourly for something, but again, right now everything's way too bullish, so nothing really to get involved with any sells just yet. But they are coming to some nice areas. Expecting pound CHF to reach 1.22577 to take 120 pips and sold at the same place. Okay, so 1.22577. Okay, so that's coming into around about this area here from the hourly chart. So around about somewhere here. Is that 277? Yeah, so around there. So basically that resistance that I'm talking about there in the 4H coming into test that resistance there. So yeah, we could see that. Again, this is a place where we could roll over, but if we do spike higher, that'll probably be a better sell anyway. Anyway, to the downside. So yeah, from either one of these areas, I would expect the market to see some downside, and targets would obviously be back to the lows there at 212, sorry, possibly 1.21, but just to be safe, I would have it at that low there. So yeah, I agree with that. £1 CHF is still definitely a bearish market. It's a little bit choppy, not the cleanest pair in the world, but if you do form that lower high, could be some nice sales forming. But yeah, the same pairs that I was talking about yesterday are the same pairs that I'm kind of focusing on today as well. Like I said, gold, waiting for that breakout, either up or down, to get some longs or some shorts on this one. If it breaks to the downside, I'm looking at shorts. Break to the upside, I'm looking at longs. USD CAD is another pair that I've thrown into the mix. One that are looking good. Again, I know it's looking extremely choppy right now, but I do think we are getting ready for a correction to the upside. So I might look to see if I can get a good opportunity for the buy, and then I think we'll probably sell off again. So I'm looking to see if I can take advantage of the buy back up and the sell back down again, because the market for me for USD CAD is in desperate need of another major lower high. You can see the last lower high we placed in the market was all the way up here. A nice drop, pull back from that lower high, drop to the downside, and this is definitely overextended and looking for some breathing room. So the fact that we've had these three drives here and the momentum keeps failing, so one there, second one there, and the third one here, and overall the market is still holding on to this exact same support, is telling me that the market is getting ready to find some life and some upside. So I'm looking at the market giving me a higher low at this support region, which is around 1.248. So anywhere around here, if it can form a higher low, I'll look for buys. Again, a little bit more aggressive because the market is still bearish, but when you do see the market try to go bearish, flip back up bullish, try to go bearish, flip bullish, try to go bearish one last time, flip back bullish, back above the same level, and you can see on the daily chart, still putting all those aggressive wicks to the downside on the daily time frame. It is telling us that the market is getting ready to see some upside. So looking at the buys there for USD CAD, and again, dollar right now is very, very strong. Take a look at the DXY in a second. But I'm looking to see if we can get some upside. Targets for this one, I wouldn't be too greedy with it because the market is still definitely bearish. But I'll be looking at primarily this level here, coming to back 1.26-ish. So looking at if we can see a little bit more downside, that would be nice. Form a higher low, and if that high low forms, I'll look for some entries, something like that, and then targets up there, and then we'll see what we can get. And then maybe if things are looking good, I'll be looking to short it right back down again if I can get some good confirmations. But yeah, that is going to be the plan for USD CAD. What to trade? Yeah, isn't that the question? What to trade? I mean, I do have a few pairs I'm looking at, so I'll go over them in a second. Any trade you are on, Miko, anything you're waiting for? Yeah, no, I'm not currently in any positions yet. The same pairs I was talking about yesterday are still the same pairs I'm waiting for, plus USD CAD right now. So pound JPY, I was looking at that one, but it broke through my resistance, so I'm not really too interested in pound JPY. So I've kind of exchanged it for USD CAD, which is looking a lot better now. So I'm looking for a higher low to form back at this level. We're not too far away. I'll probably just set an alert right there actually, because there's not really much for me to do right now for USD CAD. I just want to see that higher low form, and then look at buys back up into 1.26. So yeah, no longer really looking at pound JPY. I'll probably glance at it from now and then, but I'm not interested in the buys you see, so I'm not really looking for the push. But if it does get back below, then I'll be interested again. Gold, like I said, for this one, waiting for the break to the upside or back down again. Could be some lower time frame trades there, but that's not really my cup of tea. Like I said, Euro USD, Pound USD, looking at both of those guys as well for some moves back down again. Euro USD broke to the downside. It failed to hold that support there. So I'm looking to see if Euro USD can be kind enough to come up a little bit more, test that area, and then drop to the downside into these lows. Yesterday I had some setups drawn like this for Euro USD. I had a couple setups like this. I said to you guys, I'm looking for something like this to happen because we were consolidating on the lower time frames at this area, and I said these are the setups I'm looking for. A pullback into there and then a drop, or a pullback into there and then a drop. Basically, I was just looking for the lower high because we're still putting those higher highs. So I was looking for that next lower high to form at one of these points here potentially, and then the drop back down to lows. But we kind of just dropped out that consolidation anyway. And the market was just far too bearish for that pullback. So now I'm looking at a retest of this support that we broke for that next lower high potentially now, and then the drop to the downside. But either which way, I'm looking for Euro USD to come back down to these lows at 1.08. So that's the target for Euro USD right now. Again, looking a little bit bullish with that push. So I'm hoping that momentum can trickle to the upside a little bit more. Look for some confirmations, and yeah, shorts right back down into these lows here. Same for Pound USD as well. Pound USD did break to the upside. I was looking for Pound USD to come a little bit higher, back into this resistance here at 1.32. You can see we wicked into this area, and then I think there was some news at 3. I'm pretty sure there was some news at 3 for dollar, because at the same time we did see that dollar strength. We'll take a look at the DXY in a second, but I was looking for pound to come a little bit higher into 1.32, but it just kind of collapsed a little bit and gave us that massive bearish candle on the 4H. So I'm looking at Pound USD forming a lower high. Again, the price action for pounds is not as good as euro. Euro looks a lot cleaner, but I'm still looking for the shorts, and if I do get anything, I will look to take. There's this 1.31 level, which I'm looking at here, which maybe if we can hold as resistance, I would entertain some sells. But I do need to see some bearish price action coming back in, because as you can see, everything is still looking quite bullish. And like Euro USD, I'm looking to take this one right back down to lows at 1.3 there. So Pound USD, I'm looking at some sells, and yeah, if we can hold this level, great. I'm looking at 1.3. If we do push higher, then I'll look back at this resistance kind of area here, and the push into 1.3 as well. So whatever happens for pound, I'm basically looking to short any rally I can find. Not any rally I can find, but a decent pullback into a level. I'll be looking to short pound back into 1.3. I said to you guys yesterday that I'm bearish from Pound USD and Euro USD back into lows. Pound has to break through 1.32 for me to change that bias, and as you can see, it's not looking like it's breaking through 1.32 anytime soon. So I'm still looking at pound coming to 1.3. If I can get something here, I'll probably look to take the trade. Hopefully I can get a half decent risk reward, maybe 1.1 to 2.5, or maybe 1 to 3 if I'm lucky. But yeah, I will be looking to see if we can get a trade in and around this area back down to 1.3 for another lower high. And there's that same for Euro USD as well. Hopefully a little bit more upside than the drop. And Euro JPY, like I said earlier, looking for a bit more upside for this one as well, back into the double top area. And then if you can confirm the double top as resistance, basically I'm looking for the drop to the downside again with Euro JPY. So yeah, those are the main pairs I've got my eye on. A few other pairs are looking like they could develop, but nothing as good as them. Euro JPY need a little bit more from that one. Euro USD a little bit more as well. Pound is at an area where I'm interested. USD CAD, I want to see just a bit more downside from that guy. Then I'll be looking at buys right back up into 1.26. And gold, I'm waiting for the breakout, either side of the range. But I'm not really looking to trade gold in this area. It could be more of a lower time frame trade, but again, I don't really trade in the lower time frame, so I'm not really too interested. And you can see silver, like I was saying yesterday for silver, I said if silver puts another lower high at this trend line, I'm expecting silver to come back down into these lows here, because silver actually broke through its support. So the correlation between silver and gold is quite good, and silver's broken through the support, and gold right now, you can see that by the daily candlesticks, gold is still holding the daily support, whereas silver broke through its daily support there, and now it's retesting that as resistance and holding strong. So the fact that silver's doing that is telling me gold is probably going to follow soon come. So I'm expecting that support to break for gold, and I'll be looking for the retest for some lower highs back down into 1870, all the way down there. So that's the plan I've got for gold. Pound USD sell order 1.30999. Trade has run now for me. Okay, so you're in a sell position for pound USD. Nice. Yeah, so this level here at 1.31, nice psychological level. The one below 1.32, which we didn't hit yesterday. If this level now can hold firm, then yeah, I would expect GBUSD to roll over. Again, I'm more of a candlestick guy, so I'm gonna be waiting for my signals for this one on the hourly or maybe the 30-minute as well, depending what I can get and risk reward and everything. But yeah, generally from this area here, if we can hold it, I'm expecting the market to go bearish. So this is a bit of a lifeline for me, the pullback we had, because going to bed yesterday we were closing around about here, and I was thinking that pound was going to absolutely just die over the Asian session and just continue, but it respected that support and it's pulled back. So yeah, I think this is just a good opportunity to get involved with some shorts for pound. When my criteria is met, I will be getting involved. Same thing for euro as well. Euro hasn't pulled back and as much as I wanted to, but again, the day is still young. We could still push up a little bit higher maybe and then roll over. But as for targets and direction, it's back down to lows is what I'm seeing right now. So really nice structure. We tried to go bullish 3 times there. Now we completely collapsed, broken through so many lows here. So now all we're just doing is waiting for that low high to form and then shorting it back down to lows. And similar for pound USD as well. USD CAD the opposite, looking for a push higher after those 3 kind of strikes lower, looking for a higher low to form and a push to the upside. I've got an alert just there, which is my zone for looking for longs. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get anything to form. But yeah, anything else is not looking the best really. All the AUD pairs kind of had a bit of a pullback yesterday, but nothing really that is exciting me or anything. These pairs are still definitely bullish, and yeah, I'm not really looking to try and get involved into anything here. AUD CAD still looking bullish. Could be a break and retest there. Probably not the best trade in the world in terms of confidences and that, but everything is still looking bullish. AUD Chef still pushing to the upside. AUD NZD still moving bullish. AUD JPY, again, this one's still bullish as well. 4H, well, kind of actually sideways to be fair, but still overall bullish. AU still looking quite strong as well. So yeah, all those pairs I'm just kind of just putting to one side because they're still pushing bullish and finding a lot of momentum, and not really interesting me right now. need them to pull back or at least something. NZD pairs still looking strong as well, basically copying the AUD pairs. So all those pairs I'm not really interested in either. Pound AUD, Pound NZD, Euro AUD, Euro NZD, I'm not really interested in those pairs either. Again, these pairs could be giving some good setups on the lower time frames, but like you probably know by now, I don't really trade in the lower time frames. So if you do trade in the lower time frames, feel free to let me know and I'll take a look for you. Just because I'm not looking at a certain pair doesn't mean I won't look at the pair during the stream, or look at the pair during the stream for you. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Don't understand the language there. Not multilingual. Wish I was there. But yeah, I'm just going to be waiting for these pairs to pull back now. Waiting for them to pull back. Euro USD, you need to see a little bit more from that one, but pounds is obviously at that area. So I think if I get a trade, in the next couple of hours or in the next couple of hours, could be pound USD shorts at this 1.31 level. So we'll be looking for something like this when I get the confirmation. Stop loss above there, targets down at 1.3. And then maybe if I'm feeling good, might push it to 1.29, because that's where I'm seeing the market go next. But I don't want to be too greedy, and if we get a push down into 1.3, that's definitely a good move. But if obviously we have another one of those where we just keep falling, like we've seen for a few pairs recently, pounds done that, euros done that, seems a really nice momentum. Might try and push it down to 1.29, but the real target is 1.3. So yeah, I'll be looking at pound USD to see if we can get anything for that guy. Could be entering in the next couple of hours or so, and if I do get something, obviously I will always stick it on the Telegram, so feel free to go and check out the Telegram if you want to. Link in the description, or if you scroll to the top of the chat, I've got a link there as well for it. But yeah, pound is what I'll be looking at. Obviously we've seen quite a lot of bullish momentum, so we do need to see some bears step right back in here for us to obviously roll back over, because if not, we could still push a bit higher, and then I'll be looking for some other levels to get involved with pound, because even if we do push high and break through the level, I'm still looking to short the pair. But yeah, I'm favouring euro just a little bit more, just because it's a lot cleaner, but I just want euro to retrace a little bit more for me. And same thing with USD CAD as well. I want USD CAD to come a bit down from that higher low. If I get, because all of these are USD pairs, I'm not going to try and trade them all at once. Maybe I might have two positions on if they both look good. But if I'm happy with one, I'm happy with one, because at the end of the day, me going long on USD CAD, me shorting pound USD, me shorting euro, it all just means that I'm expecting dollar strength. Obviously, CAD, pound, and euro will affect differently, but it's really the dollar strength that I'm actually trading here. So there's no real need for me to go and trade all of them and overexpose my account. Best to just trade one with the best setup. But if two are looking good, I might be a little bit mischievous and take two trades, but we'll have to see. Might not get anything. But yeah, DXY yesterday we did see some nice bullish momentum. And again, yesterday I was talking about this level here on the left with you guys yesterday, and I said this 98,900 level is a very important level, because if we hold this as support, I do think DXY was going to go and take out this level here on the left, the high. And I said if we retest it as resistance and drop, I think DXY is going to come out and take these lows. And the reason being is because last week, when we were last time at this level here, we were rejecting this level so many times, and overall price was holding this level firm, and it looked at one point that DXY was going to roll over. But you can see DXY ripped to the upside, taking out liquidity there, then dropped to the downside. So we know that in this instance here, that level was holding firm, price had a fake out and then dropped. And normally a pattern that you see quite often with fake outs is when we do have a level, for example, that the market is holding firm for quite a long time, has a fake out and then drops. Normally you see the retest of that level and then price continues, or price breaks above it and then actually continues in the opposite direction. So that's why I was focusing on that level quite a lot yesterday, and you can see we're holding above it. Strong bullish candle. From that we saw price rip to the upside. So now I'm expecting DXY probably to push to 100, which is up here. I'm expecting DXY to push to 100. We might pull back a little bit, but I'm expecting 100, maybe even higher. If I go to the higher time frames, we do have this area here which I'm looking at for price to come into, which is actually 100.5. So we might push into that area there as well. But yeah, everything is still bullish for the DXY. So still expecting a little bit more upside from that, which means I'm still expecting a bit more downside for pound and a bit more downside for euro as well. First time. Oh, is it your first time on the chat? Wait, welcome. If it's your first time, welcome. Glad to have you in the chat. If there's any pairs you're looking at, any different markets you're looking at, Forex, indices, commodities, let me know. I'll take a look at it for you on the chat. That goes for everyone here. If there's any pairs you're looking at, or if you're looking at lower time frames, let me know as well. Leave it on the chat and I'll take a look at it for you. Oh, so we just met Nepalese. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, there's a bit of English there, so that's all I'm getting. But yeah, no worries. It's all good. Any signal to hold now? Not yet, possibly soon though. There's a few pairs I'm looking at, Euro, Pound, USD as well. Could be getting something for Pound pretty soon if I can get some nice confirmation. So maybe soon some Pound USD shorts. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a bit more development of some other pairs. Maybe soon also some USD CAD longs as well. But yeah, nothing just yet though, but maybe something later today. Maybe during the Asian session. Yeah, on your chats are having a random combo. It's cool. No worries. New to the channel, wicked. Love to see that, new faces. Did you have a look at 1H GJ? Of course. Everybody only has one language here, up or down. Of course, only one language, up or down. But yeah, GJ is still looking quite bullish. So for this one, because coming into the week, I was looking for sales for GJ, but GJ failed to hold that 161,400 level yesterday. It was kind of just stalling for a little bit and then broke through quite easily. So now I'm looking for a pullback for GJ, for price to probably continue bullish now. Again, we could go bearish, and for us to go bearish, I want to see price break through that support and that trend line to actually let me know that the buyers are failing, and then I'll look to see if I can take this down to 158. But as of right now, everything is still looking bullish. There's one more obstacle in the way for pound JPY, which is this 162.500 level. That resistance there, probably see a little bit better on the 4H. But besides from that, it could be back to 164 for pound JPY. It could be. So yeah, if you're looking at trading this one, I wouldn't really do too much here, because right now we're having a bullish leg, and you want to be waiting for some retracement to get back into this one for some buys. And we've got some nice confluence here lining up with the trend line, and that resistance now turning support. So if you do pull back into this 161.400 area, could be some nice longs to take advantage of that, and yes, get some buys back in, and targets, could be all the way back at highs really. Obviously manage the trade as it goes along, but yeah, pound JPY right now on the hourly is looking bullish. Like I said, there is that one last obstacle, so maybe from that we come back down, retest and go bullish. If it fails on the retest and we break through with some momentum, I'll be looking for that lower high to push price back down, because this could be a false break. But I'm looking at the weekly, I'm looking at the daily, and yeah, everything is telling me that the pair is still bullish right now. So sells for me are off the table right now, so I'm not really looking at that. Maybe lower time frames, yes, 5 minutes or something like that could snap a few pips, but in terms of the bigger sell for the large correction, it's not really looking good for that. So if you're looking at pound JPY, especially in the hourly, I'd wait for a pullback, see if we can form that higher low, and if we do that successfully, looking for the longs, potentially back to 164. You're asking, do I use support and resistance? Yes, I do use support and resistance. I do have a video on my channel about how I use support and resistance for direction and entries and all that stuff. So, feel free to go and check out my channel. It does have support and resistance video on that, so feel free to go and check it out. But yeah, I do use support and resistance in my trading. Morning, welcome to the stream. I think Euro AUD, short thing, we'll take a look at Euro AUD as well. Yeah, we'll take a look at Euro USD. GJ is bullish for the long run, but on lower time frame, I believe it's better to wait for a retrace on some support before buying. Yeah, of course, that's literally what I was talking about for pound JPY. Bit of retracement back down again, because right now we're having that bullish leg, breaking out this consolidation down here. This was the consolidation that price was in for a few days, and now we're seeing the breakout of that consolidation right now. So you want to be waiting for that pullback before getting involved bullish again. But yeah, everything weekly, dailies, all telling me that price is still bullish. So unless something happens or we get some news or something, and price has a really big correction, really big impulsive move back down again, pound JPY could be seeing itself back at 164 this week even. But yeah, we'll take a look at Euro AUD and Euro USD. Euro AUD, USD. Okay, so yeah, Euro AUD still looking bearish. Again, AUD, is still looking quite strong. We've seen a little bit of correction, but I think Euro's been quite weak. Probably the weakest currency so far this week, and AUD has been probably the strongest. So right now you're seeing obviously that bearish trend really in play right now. So with Euro AUD, it's difficult to trade this one if you weren't really selling this one. It's difficult to do much with it right now, because again, it's on the higher time frames, it's pretty much in free fall right now. So in terms of area of value and looking for something to work with, there's not much. There's this wick here that we kind of wick down and start to rally from. So there could be some interest in this point here. But obviously looking left, it's just nothing to work with. So you've got that wick there. We've got some areas down here, but again, we're a little bit far from that right now, so there's not really much interest there. But yeah, Euro AUD for me is something that If you're looking to trade, the best thing to do is just wait for a pullback, because this thing I think will still probably drop. Looking at the higher time frames, will still probably drop into 1.42 and maybe 1.41 as well. So if you do see any bullish momentum for your AUD, probably just getting ready to short it right back down again. But yeah, for this I would, that's just consolidation for your AUD right now. There's not really too much value there, and right now we're trading underneath that kind of wick point that I drew on the monthly and the weekly. So for this one, I would wait for price to push bullish again, back into this area here. Got some nice supply there, and obviously previous support time resistance back into a 1.455, and then from there we'll see what happens. Could be some nice sells right back down again, but looking for some buys here to try and take advantage of that retracement. It's always going to be risky. I'm not saying you won't be successful at it, but in the long run, these type of trades are just going to be very, very difficult to achieve consistently. You're better off waiting for the pullback and selling it back down again, just because there's just not enough information here. Maybe if we could put some price action, get some structure patterns going on, we can work with that and take advantage, but it's just not enough going on right here. And the hourly is just noise, really. Can't really trade that with too much confluence or confirmations, really. So yeah, I think your AD best waits for pullback, and then we'll see what type of price action we get. I would expect price to retrace, yes, but it's nothing that I'm willing to put capital at risk for. So yeah, if I was you, I'll keep an eye on this level here for some shorts. Euro USD, we'll take a look at that as well. So yeah, Euro USD bearish for this one. I'm looking at price coming straight back down into the lows at 1.08057. There's three areas, as you can see. I was looking for the pullbacks for Euro USD. First one being up here. Nope, price did not pull that. We opened here and just dropped, so obviously haven't come back to retest that 1.11 area. That was the second area I was looking at yesterday, looking for a bit of a pullback and then the drop. But yeah, nope, didn't come back to retest this one. And this is the third area, which we've just broken through yesterday. Now I'm looking for the retest of that level. That could happen. It's not yet. No, we haven't dropped yet. So I'm still looking at some upside for Euro USD there. But yeah, it's just looking bearish still here. So in terms of direction and everything, very, very bearish still on Euro USD. I'm expecting price to come right back down to these lows. So I'm just hoping for a bit of a pullback before I sell it, but it's looking like we might not even get that. So I'm hoping maybe in New York or something that we push bullish again and see a bit more upside and then drop. But if we don't, you could try and look to find some entries here. There's a level of support and resistance here on the left that maybe you can get a break and retest of. But yeah, targets for Euro USD, I'm expecting a push right back down into these lows at 1.0860. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Euro DXY, I'm still expecting this one to fly to 100. So maybe 100.5 as well. So yeah, I'm still expecting more dollar strength. So Euro, I'm expecting downside. Pound, I'm expecting downside. In fact, I'm waiting for confirmation for pound as we speak. No problem, Zafar, happy to help. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your AD is definitely difficult of the day time frame. You just want to see a pullback for that, because your AD for me is in a bit of no man's land. Hey Mr. Bazooka, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Pound USD looking for shorts. Nice. Pound USD, I'm expecting price to go low. I'm just waiting for confirmations really for this guy to short this one. Hopefully we can get something in the next hour or two maybe. This 1.31 level is essentially what I'm looking for support to hold now as resistance. Was looking for some shorts yesterday. We kind of wicked higher. I was looking at 1.32, kind of just about missed that before the drop. So yeah, I mean, pound USD price action is definitely not the best, really. I mean, if you actually look at it, it's very, very messy, really. But it's quite clear that the market is still bearish. So, you know, if you're looking to sell pretty much any value you can get, you probably will be in the money. Maybe price might push a little bit higher first, but, you know, shorts are still looking good, unless obviously we see some crazy bullish momentum, which could happen. But yeah, there's a lot of confluences and a lot of things pointing pound USD to the downside. So I'm just going to be waiting for some confirmations to get involved with this one on the hourly time frame. And targets 1.3, was talking about potentially 1.29 as well, because that's kind of the next target I'm expecting price to come through. Because again, still very much a bearish market on the higher time frames, talking monthly, weekly, everything is still bearish. And I do think I can see another leg to the downside, maybe back into 1.29. But with the way prices are moving, probably it's best just to look for 1.3 and then call it a day there. But yeah, pound, I'm expecting a push back down to those lows. US 30, of course. Hey, gold and USD ZAR, of course, we'll take a look at that as well. So yeah, US 30, we're looking at US 30. Yesterday I said US 30 is looking good for a move to the downside. We did see a bit of a push up first, but then we did see that kind of move to the downside happen as price is coming to some key areas where we did look for that retracement, you know, to start to come into fruition. But yeah, with US 30, originally when we were back here, I was looking for price to come into 34 and then push. I think now we could see that 34 move and then the push higher. You know, I do think the market could be getting ready for a bigger move. So I think now I'm going to put that higher low in and then turn bullish, because we had quite a big push from that. So I think the market is getting ready for, you know, that retracement really, and 34 is looking good for that. And that is essentially this resistance here, turn support. So yeah, for me, US 30 still looking bearish. There's like a little bit of a head and shoulder here, kind of with the left head, right shoulder there. So if we could drop a little bit more, you know, retest the neckline, could get some shorts. I'd say 34, 100, 34. Then from there, we might turn bullish again and see some nice buys back up. But again, that's very much in the future there. So yeah, US 30 looking good to come back down. But yeah, everything's looking bearish for this one. I mean, on the hourly and the 4H, so I wouldn't look for any longs. On the lower time frames, I'll definitely still be looking for those shorts. So yeah, I've got a target for 34, 100 there, and then maybe, just maybe, you can flip bullish, come back to these highs up here at 35, 800, maybe 36 even. But yeah, a little bit more downside for US 30, and then maybe some buys back up again. Hope that analysis was useful there. But yeah, gold and USD ZAR. So gold, been looking at this one quite a lot, waiting for the breakout of this support and that resistance. Gold right here in this area for me, just a little bit in no man's land. Not necessarily no man's land, because there is definitely support and resistance and lower time frame good opportunities, but in here is kind of like the area which I'm just seeing as indecision really, because we've had these fake outs here. Gold's tried to drop bearish, failed, tried to go bullish, failed, tried to go bearish, failed, tried to go bullish again there, failed. So we're getting some failed attempts, and overall this 1917, 1916 level and 1945 level is holding firm. So it's up to gold to decide which level it breaks through and where it goes. I've had 2000 for target for a couple of weeks now, so if you do break to the upside, that's what I'm expecting it to go. Or if you break to the downside, I'm looking at 1875, 1870, which is this daily resistance there taken across. So gold just has to break out, and then I'll find out where it's going. Again, I'll be looking at the lower time frames, hourly, 30 minute, and we are starting to put these lower highs in, you know, in reference to that point up there. So it does look like the bears are slowly winning this battle here, and I do think if things stay the same how they are right now, I do think gold probably will break to the downside out of this support. So that means the break and retest to go to 1875 looks the most likely, and that is the opportunity which I'm getting ready to take. Obviously not just yet, we haven't had the break yet, but that is the way I'm expecting. Obviously if I'm wrong, we break the upside, I'm still looking to get the break and retest on the 1945. But on the lower time frames, it means there might be some sales to take this back down into this support here. Again, we were looking at this one on the 15-minute, and I said I do think gold from here could be placing a lower high, 1932, 1934. I think a nice little high could be forming for that rollover back down, coming into the exact same resistance there on the left. So for me, gold, I'm looking at the next low high forming. These low highs here, lower high there, lower high, potentially another one here. And I think gold's probably can come right back down into 1917 if this 1932, 1934 level holds. But like I said, I'm not really trying to get involved there. I'm waiting for the break on one of those two levels, and then that's when I'll step in and use these R. I hope that makes sense for gold. But USDZAR, what's this guy doing? Oh geez, would you look at that? It came back perfectly to what I said there. I don't normally set limit orders, but that would be a nice limit order to set. So yeah, USDZAR, I haven't looked at this guy since the last stream. So obviously I should undo. So last stream I was talking about if we can stay above that level, be looking for price to push bullish. And if I said if we break through the level, looking for another push back down again. But obviously you can see we're holding that level right now. I think that was just a random level I drew. I don't know why I drew that yellow box there. I think I just meant that if price stays above this support, looking for buys essentially. But yeah, I'm not actually in that trade. That's just a random risk to reward tool I put there. Yeah, USDZAR looking like it's holding above that. So a little bit messy this chart. Probably just redo it for a second there. Actually, let me see what level I actually drew. Okay, it was that level there on the weekly. Okay, so yeah, we're holding this weekly level here, which is important because if we can hold this, we can see some retracement. So I am looking at USDZAR, seeing some upside, potentially back into these areas to come back and retest it. Again, a little bit messy here. Kind of can be classified as consolidation really, because we have rejected resistance twice, 3 times now, and support twice as well. So if you're looking at getting involved in this one, a nice break and retest of the roof of the resistance would be nice, something like that. Break above, retest that, could get some nice longs on the retest, something like that. Back into 14.9, retest that support there, turn resistance. But yeah, I think because we've been so bearish now for USDZAR, we're coming to a strong weekly level, which we tried to break through, but now we're holding a support. I think it's time for some retracement now for USDZAR after this bearish leg. So push back into 14.9 makes the most sense. But again, it is still bearish, so always be careful, which is why probably waiting for the break and retest of this resistance. It's probably your best bet, because at that point, resistance has failed. Bulls are winning the battle. Look for the retest, getting some longs, looking for some buys back down here. Could be a little bit risky because obviously we could still see something like this happen and the drop back down if the market wants to remain bearish, of course. So yeah, USDZAR, I'm looking at some retracement for this guy back into 14.9, but break and retest makes the most sense. You can look to get back involved down around these lows here, but it's always going to be a little bit aggressive. Nothing wrong with it, just bit more of an aggressive trade. This is less aggressive and higher probability, but it's up to you how you want to trade that. But yeah, USDZAR, I'm looking at 14.9 and maybe again another bearish leg right back down again if we hold that successfully. So yeah, I hope that made sense there for USDZAR and gold. How's USDCAD doing? USDCAD's trying to push bullish. Hopefully USDCAD can come back down and test this area. We will have to see, but in terms of direction, I'm looking at USDCAD back at 1.26. and then I will be looking to sell this guy right back down again at 1.26, because it still is bearish. I'm just looking for that next low high, because the previous low high for USD CAD was all the way up there. So now I'm looking at the next one to form somewhere, and then I'm looking at the price to go bearish again. So I'm trying to see if we can take advantage of the pullback and then of the continuation. Again, I've got the zone here, which is where all the wicks seem to be placed. So I'm looking for one more wick to form that higher low, because we've tried to go bearish 3 times here, and failed, and we recovered back above this zone. So now I'm looking for the market to, after these 3 drives, looking for the higher low to form. This point here, and then continuation. Obviously, there's a chance that we might not form the higher low. We could just fly, which could do there. But the way I trade is I want price to come against me first and then look to continue. So I always want to wait for that pullback rather than just take consolidation. So yeah, I'm looking for that pushback down again. We'll see if we can get it. But exact same idea as pound USD and euro USD. I'm still trying to take advantage of some dollar strength. How's pound USD doing? Oh, it's looking good. Okay, let's see what we're getting. Okay, so that is a nice reaction there. If we can close bearish, I probably will enter a trade on that. Maybe not get the best risk to reward. As long as we're above a 2, I'll be happy. Stop loss above that and a push into 1.3. Of course, we still got 43 minutes left to go, so don't want to get too excited just yet, because a lot can happen in 43 minutes. But what we can see now is 1.31 is so far holding quite firm, bearish. So yeah, looking at price just continuing to the downside now, for pound USD. Looking at that next level high. So yeah, hopefully you can get something on pounds in the next kind of 42 minutes for an entry for some shorts. Dollar still looking very strong here. I'm expecting that to continue. How's Euro USD looking? Euro USD still dropping. I was hoping it could push a little bit higher, but we might not see that, to be honest. But yeah, same targets really. So if I do get a trade on pound, probably won't be too bothered, to be honest, but it'd be nice to see euro pull back a little bit further and see if we can get some shorts and take that lower. USD still flying to the upside. Again, this one I was looking to short at the start of the week. I was looking to see if price can get back below this 122,500 level. Again, looking for that kind of head and shoulder there. But we failed. We broke above, and then we were consolidating above. And now we've broken to the upside. So USD is still very, very bullish right now. Excuse me. We're seeing a lot of the JPY pairs are pushing bullish right now. JPY seems to still be very, very weak. So, if anything, looking to buy them is definitely the better option than looking to sell these guys. I do think they will sell off eventually, as we see time and time again in the Forex markets, when we do see big rallies like so. Forex does normally come back and correct most of that moves. It's only in the other markets like indices and stocks where you can see things really rally and go forever, in crypto as well. But in Forex, it's typically a lot of up and downs, We do normally see price come right back down. If you look at the history of stuff here, everything does normally get back, fulfilled again. Up, down, you can see big rallies. Even this big push there eventually came all the way back down. And if I go right, you can see it spiked all the way lower into this low here. And again, big move back down, eventually got filled again. Big move. So it is a common theme. Again, it's not perfect, it's not going to happen all the time, and it's not going to retrace the whole thing. But in terms of a correction and a bigger move, we can definitely see USD take that dive soon. But it's always about timing, because yes, we will see that correction, but if I keep hitting the sell button now, obviously I'm just going to lose a lot of money doing that. So you need to stay patient, and right now everything's still looking bullish, so we could be coming back to highs and maybe even some higher highs. We hit 125 with that wick. We could maybe even push to 126, 127 maybe before we do start to see that move. Again, I was looking on the monthly time frame for USD JPY, and I've got a feeling you might even go and take out that wick there. So that's what I said, maybe 127 we could push to before we do take that dive. Who knows, we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm only looking at sales really for these JPY. I'm not really bothered with the buys. So again, moving like that, it's going right to the back of the watch list. I'm not really focused on UCJPY, but if you are and you're on the low time frames, again, there could be some nice buys with this one. Certainly if you can catch a bit of a pullback for another higher low, you know, there's nothing wrong with looking at those buys back into 125 or, like I said, 126 or 127. And if you look at some other JPY pairs, pound JPY, that one's still pushing. NZD JPY is still pushing, cleared some resistance there yesterday. Euro JPY is the only one that hasn't really pushed too far, which is why I'm still looking at that one. CHF JPY still looking bullish as well, coming back into those highs, could go higher. CAD JPY is still pushing as well, testing that resistance. Looks like it probably will break through. AUD JPY, that one's moving sideways, but again still bullish. So JPY pairs are still definitely very, very weak. I mean, JPY is weak, the JPY pairs are not weak, they're flying. But yeah, the shorts will come for all the swing traders out there. The shorts will come, but just not now. Miko, what do you say about AUDUSD? Any thoughts on that chart? Sure thing, I'll take a look at that one. So yeah, AUDUSD, again, I was trading that one coming into the week, took a loss in this one. I was looking for a price to roll over to hold this resistance here, but it absolutely failed at that and had a massive rally to the upside. So like I said, I'm expecting dollar strength in the market, so that would normally mean AUDUSD should come back down. But AUD has been exceptionally strong, and we've seen a lot of dollar strength in the market. You can see DXY has been trending bullish for the past few days. Obviously, besides that sideways price action, it has been very bullish. But AU, we've been seeing it move to the upside as well. So obviously, AUD has been stronger than the dollar. And I'm not really keen on selling AUDUSD just yet. Again, if you didn't see my stream yesterday, I was talking about price coming into this 0.77 area to come test this support here, and that's where we could see some sales come back in after taking out this high there yesterday. So that's where I was looking for price to come into. We kind of just missed it before going bearish again, and price, you know, could easily be coming back for another higher low, retest that to go bullish. If this is a fake out, because the way it looks, it could actually be a fake out, a massive fake out. The fact that price stalled here forever and then rallied very aggressively, and now we'll start to see aggressive price action back down. If we can maintain this momentum back down underneath this level, and I do think this was a bit of a fake out, we could see a nice retest and we could see some really nice shorts develop for AUSD. But obviously if that fails and we form a higher low on the retest, then 0.77 is where I'm expecting price to go before we do see a bigger downside move. So right now for AU in this kind of area, I'm not really interested. There could be some nice break and retest for price to push bullish again. Like I said, we've got that daily wick there, which is now going to be support, and obviously we've got this resistance here will be support as well. So could see a nice high low develop for a push bullish. But yeah, I'm interested to see if we fail on that higher low and come back down even lower. That's telling me that this was just a fake out, and we could see something like that happen. And yeah, I'll be interested on that little retest there. But if it is going to form that higher low, then the next area I'm really interested in is 0.77. And then from there, I do think we can really drop. Because if you look at 0.77, this is where we held that consolidation there. And then this is where we broke to the downside and never came back for that retest of that area. So, and then there'll be a lot of sellers waiting here, a lot of supply up there. So I do think we can push it into 0.77 and then drop. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. So yeah, AU, I'm watching for that high low to form. If it forms, could be some nice longs. If not, and it breaks below, then you know I'm looking for some shorts. Regarding trade management, when would you move your stop loss to break even? Normally, I'll move my stop loss to break even when price is cleared quite a fair bit in my direction. So if I've got a trade something like this, I probably wouldn't move my stop loss till something like this has happened. So like I've got a bit of structure in my favor, so price has formed a higher low, well past my entry. I don't really have like an actual like a lot of people have. Okay, if it hits 1R, I'll go break even, or if it hits 2R, I'll go break even. For me, it's definitely interpretation of what price is doing. But if I can get a good high low, that's a good fair bit distance away from my thing. So sometimes that could be at 2R, sometimes might be at 2.5 or 3. But I like to give myself a lot more room when going to break even, because I find that normally in the past, when I've gone break even, like hitting 1 or something, I do get stopped out quite a lot, because definitely as a swing trader, getting those entries, when price is going against you, sometimes you normally see price pull back to your entry and then go bullish. And most of my profits come from catching those rallies or those drops, and I don't want to be getting stopped out just because of a mini pullback, then miss out on 100 or 200 pips in that direction. So I tend to give myself a lot more space to put my stop loss to break even than day traders would, where some day traders 1R that break even. So yeah, I'll normally wait for some structure to form before I do put my stop loss to break even. Or sometimes I do put my stop loss to break even if I've hit like a key level where I could see price returning against me. So for example, like gold last week, where I was in some longs from back down here, this is a major level which I had drawn into. When it hit that area there, I did go to break even, because I knew that from here we could actually go bearish and drop. So if I do hit a level that I do think the market could go against me from, not necessarily go against me because it could do that in many places, but an area where I do think the market could actually like shift the direction completely, then I'll do that and I'll go break even from that. But it's always gonna be a little bit different from each trade. I think it's going to 0.75 for, we'll see, 0.745, 0.75452. So okay, so that's around about here to retest that wick there. So yeah, it could be coming into here to form that higher low. Like I said, if that higher low forms, then yeah, I do think more upside, because again, it still is extremely bullish. But I'm just gonna wait to see what happens if it forms the higher low or it doesn't. But yeah, that's where I'm expecting that higher low to form, really, if it does form there. Euro USD, of course, we'll take a look. Euro USD. Okay, so Euro USD, like I said, still bearish on this guy, looking for price to come to 1.08 down here. Yeah, it's not looking like we're seeing that pullback there, unfortunately. So again, that just hasn't pulled back enough for me to get interested in selling the guy. So yeah, Euro USD looks like it could drop. Maybe it might form the higher low to push back up. I'm only looking to get involved if it does pull back into that area. Pounds pull back into the area where I'm liking, so I'm not really too worried. But Euro USD, I'm looking for it to come back into 1.08 down here. That is the target for this guy. Again, I've had 3 places where I've been looking for the pullback to. Again, up here, probably not going to happen. Up there, probably not either. Up there, potentially we could see a pullback into that, maybe. But you can see the market is still quite bearish. Looking at DXY, it's definitely still bullish. So dollar strength is definitely driving these markets back down. And Euro USD, I'm looking at coming right back to these lows here. We do have the bodies that will be acting as support as well, so do pay attention to this support here. But the reason why I'll put a line at that wick is because I'm probably going to be expecting some new lows We've had some healthy pullbacks here for Euro USD. 1, 2, 3, all trying to push higher. Retesting some higher time frame levels of support and resistance, as you can see here on the left there. So we've had some really nice pullbacks, and if I do get a bit of a fib there from the low to the high, from the high to the low, sorry, you can see we've wicked into 0.5, so we pulled back 50% of that whole move. Had some nice retracements, so now I'm expecting probably some new lows now for Euro USD past this point. So yeah, if you can get a pullback onto that on the lower time frames, looking for those shorts. I was looking for a push into that zone, probably not going to get it, but I'll put alert there anyway just in case. Pound is looking good, so I'm going to try and see if we can get an entry on pound when this hourly candle closes. Still got half an hour left, so it's already done half of that. It's already done that move in half the time it's been open, so it's looking good for pound. USD CAD, I'm looking for those longs as well, but I want a bit more of a pullback from that guy. But yeah, Euro USD, expecting this guy to fall to the downside, back down to 1.08060, which is the low of the wick. But yeah, hope that made sense. Euro USD is looking good to go south. The XY is looking good to go north. It's rejecting the wick there, pulling back quite aggressively there. So it's looking like we're still seeing that strength in the dollar, which is why AU is probably having its pullback right now, as the USD having a bit of a pullback there. So yeah, those are the pairs I'm mainly focused on. Gold pulling back down there, so it looks like it will probably come back into the support here on the lower time frames. Silver's still bearish, so I'm still expecting silver to come back into these lows. But yeah, dollar strength is definitely a theme for today, and I'm expecting that probably till the end of the week. It's Wednesday now, isn't it? So yeah, probably to the end of the week we'll probably see that dollar strength. Looking at dollar getting to 100 and maybe 100.5, because remember, this is all consolidation here. So if this is a successful breakout of the consolidation, we could see a really strong rally, because normally a kind of like a rule of thumb to have, which is not always the case, but most of the time, is that normally the bigger the consolidation, or the longer we consolidate, the bigger the breakout, because price is obviously building up, and it needs to relieve itself. And normally we do see big moves from that. So I'm looking at 100 and maybe 100.5, or even higher than that. Sometimes when we see the range of the consolidation as the breakout, in that case we could obviously go past 100.5, but we will see. Obviously if we do come straight back in, then that's just a false breakout. The breakout was false, and then we'll probably see a move right back down to these lows. But yeah, we are holding this area firmly, so expecting DXY to continue to rally here. Have a look at AD CAD. Of course, pullback is coming now for bearish move. Okay, we'll take a look at AD CAD. Okay, so AD CAD, yeah, we are looking a little bit bearish here for AU. We've seen some nice bearish momentum, but okay, so yeah, AD CAD, we are trading back at that resistance there. But yeah, we have tried to continue back bullish with those wicks there. So on the 4H, we tried to react with this resistance turn support, of course, and we tried to go bullish there with those wicks, and it does look like that momentum is failing. We potentially could actually break through this, break through that support, and then potentially a lot lower. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens here, because if we do break underneath, we could see something like this happen and price move a little bit lower first, maybe a continuation back up or a retest of that to come lower. But yeah, it does look like AuduCAD could potentially break through that support. If it does, that could be very, very interesting, because if you look at the daily time frame, the daily time frame didn't close above that wick there. Well, the previous daily candle at least didn't close above that wick. So that wick there, if I just get rid of that zone, is still holding as resistance. And it could obviously produce another bearish candlestick on the daily chart, which means that's holding firm. And then we could see, you know, something like that happen maybe. Back to some support there. But yeah, I mean, overall it is a little bit choppy here, a little bit a bit of a range. But yeah, if we do break to the downside, it will be interesting because we're back below that support. And then yeah, we could be seeing a deeper pushback come in there, and then maybe some continuation back higher. That resistance is going to break till 0.94244 before bearish move, I believe 0.4244. Okay, so that's around about here-ish, which is coming back into this kind of area here. Yeah, it probably will. Obviously, that's the next kind of like next logical place you would expect price to come into if this level is not holding. That's the next logical place you'd expect price to come back into. So yeah, if it does break through that, then yeah, that's probably where you expect it to go to. Then we can see what price is giving us at that area. But because when we did break through this, I don't know when we broke through, that was at, yeah, that was at night 2 days ago. No, yesterday or 2 days ago. It broke through that, and then we obviously didn't see the retest of that. So you can see prices putting wicks to the upside, you know, throughout, and these candlesticks here dropped a little bit, came back, a couple wicks to the upside, and then we had that crazy bullish momentum breaking through. So this is still untested, you know, resistance turn support. And most of the time, you know, 75% of the time, 80% of the time, we normally do see price come back for the retest anyway. So we'll see what we get here, because if that doesn't fail, that's probably where we're going. And then, you know, we could actually form a higher low and actually push bullish again. So that is definitely a place to watch, because if it does form that higher low, it'll be the first retest of that level and could continue. But yeah, you are right, AuduCAD is, I mean, I think we're seeing a lot of weakness for AD at the moment right now, because I'm looking at AuduCAD, ADCHF, AJPY, seeing bearish candle, ADUSD. So yeah, they're all seeing a bit of weakness right now. Yeah, there's nothing crazy, but it just means they're in sync. Hey Fortune Forex trading, any bearish on DXY? A little bit, but nothing to get excited about, I don't think, really, because we've got this fat level of resistance that we've just broken through. Now price is retesting as support, so I think if we stay below 99,400, 99,300, this thing's still going to push into 100 up here. That's still my bias to DXY, still where I'm expecting it to go. If it gets back below, then yeah, I'll reinvestigate, reanalyze, and see what you know, the next move possibly could be. But if we stay above 99,400, 99,300, that zone, then I'm still expecting DXY to push bullish. We could, you know, push, come back, retest, maybe mess around a little bit before we do push. But you know, as long as we don't break that below, that's what I'm expecting for DXY. If you're looking for some weakness for the DXY, I'll wait to see if price can get back underneath that zone, because at that point we might have had a fake breakout of the resistance, you know, which, you know, it could be a legit thing. If that does happen, and we could actually see price, you know, start to rally, not rally, sorry, but fall back down. So if you're looking for the weakness there, you want price to essentially break back below that level. If it doesn't, I think 100 is our next stop. So yeah, I'm still expecting more bullishness for DXY, unless obviously we get back below. Pound NZD, of course, resident FX. We'll take a look. No problem. Happy to help. Pound NZD. So yeah, another pound NZD. So yeah, again, not really the biggest fan of this price action at the moment. Everything's extremely quite bearish. I have to go on the higher time frames a little bit to find. Excuse me. We have a bit of a sore throat at the moment, so excuse me. But yeah, pound NZD for me is definitely still bearish. I'm looking at this support here, price coming into that level in the next couple of days, maybe if this momentum sustains, or if we get back above this, and then we could maybe see some life, but not really much right now. So yeah, for pound NZD, again, this is still definitely a bearish market, so I would still keep up with that bearish kind of directional bias, bearish thought process. You know, if we do get pulled back into the zone, I really do like this zone here, the way we held that support, broke back through, came back, tried to use it again as support, failed, and then dropped. If you start to put some wicks here as resistance, that could be some nice sales to maintain that kind of overall theme of those lower highs, lower high, lower high. Could be looking at one more lower high to form, the drop into that lower time frame, higher time frame level at 1.86374, which is that level there, which I'm expecting pound NZD to head to. So this pair is not looking bullish at all, and if you're trading this on the 4H, hourly, 30-minute, I'll just be waiting for pullbacks to short this thing back down. Yes, maybe if you like the 5-minute, maybe you could probably find some nice scalps buying to the upside, but this pair is still looking bearish, and the bigger moves probably are still bearish to come back down into these levels. If we do find some strong bullish momentum, break to the upside, then we'll look to correct it and see if we can get some longs back up, but only if that happens really, because anything else we probably will still leak and roll to the downside. There's no point really to look for longs. So yeah, there's that zone there I'm really liking in 1.89. Keep an eye out for a pullback into that zone, and then yeah, I'm looking for price to roll over. Got the trend line here acting as resistance as well, giving a little bit more confluence. So yeah, 1.89 back down to 1.86 for pound NZD. Hope that made sense. Pound USD sell. Yeah, I am looking at pound USD sell. I'm waiting for candle closure right now, so I'm not going to try and get too excited. Back in the day, after seeing that bearish candle, 17 minutes to go, I'm just going to enter that trade right now, just because of fear of missing out really. So yeah, I'm going to wait for that candle to close before I do get any entries on pound USD. But if things do look how they're looking now, I'll probably look to enter stop loss above that level, which is 1.31, and targets down at 1.3, and that it will be the plan for pound USD there. Looking for another lower high. We've got this kind of trend line here, which I've just noticed, which looks like price is coming back to retest. So you can see we formed that high there, dropped high, failed to push through, fake breakout to the upside, dropped, retest of the trend line. Now I'm expecting price to drop back again for that next lower high. So yeah, it's looking good for pound. I'm treating this as a fake out, a retest of that. Nice confidence in this level. We've got 1.31 psychological level, support time, resistance, and you've got the trend line there. Probably a fib or something there on the retracement, and obviously the higher time frames and how they're lining up, weekly, daily, 4H, everything is still pointing down. Got some nice confluence there, and even if we do break higher, if we do rally higher, I'm still looking to sell that thing right back down, which will probably give me a better risk reward anyway. So like I said, as long as we stay below 1.32, I'm shorting pound USD. So if you do rally to 1.32, I'll look to short it. Same targets, 1.3. Hold this, I'm looking to short at 1.3. Might push to 1.29. I'll probably have that in the back of my head, but not really as a target. Maybe I'll leave some to trickle. But we'll see. But yeah, pound USD, I am looking to short the guy. I keep calling him the guy. It's not a guy. Could be a girl. But yeah, pound USD, I'm looking to get short on that one. USD CAD hasn't triggered my alert yet. Oh, it could be. So yeah, USD CAD, I'm looking for price to come a little bit deeper into the zone. Give me a wick on the 4H. That'd be really nice. Wick on the 4H, hold the zone, and then I'm looking at some buys back up into 1.26, and then I'll look for some sells to come right back down again. That's the plan for USD CAD, probably for the next week or so. I'm not expecting this to happen in 24 hours. But yeah, that's the plan for USD CAD. And Euro, I was looking for a pullback into here, but it looks like we're not going to get that. It could happen, of course. I'll set an alert just in case. But if we don't and we just drop from here, I would consider that as a missed trade. Euro JPY, I'm still looking at price coming into here, so again, I'll probably set another alert for this one, but I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt just because the other JPY pairs are not looking too good right now, so I'm going to definitely wait for some nice confirmations before getting short on Euro, but Euro JPY that is. But yeah, I'm looking at price coming back to 134, maybe even 133. And then gold, I'm looking at gold dropping below this support and then coming back down again. Seeing some nice rejection down the 15-minute there from that level, so probably will come back down. We might do something like this, react with that level there, pull back up a little bit, another lower high, then drop back down. Then we might consolidate, drop, see that big move, looking for that retest, and then have the bigger drop back down into the lows here. And that's where I'm going to look to try and get involved for gold on the retest. I mean, that's if it retests. Sometimes we just drop without the retest, so I'm just going to hope that we do get the retest. But yeah, gold's looking like it's getting ready to roll over. Still has to break for that support first, of course, but from structure and the way the lower highs are forming, it's showing signs that the bears are winning this battle, and probably will move price a lot lower here. And silver's looking good to drop as well. So yeah, those are the pairs I am looking at. Anything else, just not really taking my fancy at the moment. Again, I'm trying to make sure that I keep my watch list as tight as possible, just to make sure that my focus is not scattered everywhere, because that's when not really on top of my game, start to miss some entries, start to take some entries I shouldn't be taking. So Euro USD, Pound USD, and USD CAD at the main of it. Gold I will be focusing on, but I need to wait for a break there, so not really going to be doing too much with that anyway. So Euro USD, Pound, and USD CAD is what I'm going to be focused on. Pound, I'm looking for an entry in the next kind of 11-12 minutes really. If it closes like that, I will enter, and then yeah, I'll post that on the Telegram for everyone else, because I know not everyone from Telegram is on the stream right now. But yeah, we've got about 10 minutes or so left of the stream, so if there's any pairs, any pairs, Forex, indices, commodities, let me know. I'll take a look at it for you, see what's going on with those pairs. If there's any other questions as well, feel free to drop them in the chat. I don't bite. But yeah, nothing other than that. Euro Pound was actually a pair I was looking at a lot coming into the week, but it kind of just dropped without me there. So yeah, obviously didn't get an opportunity to trade that one. I was looking for a bit of a pullback into this zone here, which would be nice, but we just kind of consolidated and dropped. So I'm looking to see maybe if we can put a higher low here to push back up and then drop like that, and then I'll be looking to get into some shorts for Euro pound. But yeah, not really thinking about too much for that one. So it's at the back of the pile. But yeah, it's going to be waiting for candle closure now to see if we can get an opportunity. Pound JPY still pushing bullish. Yeah, not going to be focusing on that one a lot. I was looking at this one a lot coming into the week for the shorts, but the level failed, and now we're pushing through, which is why I love the candlestick patterns, and I don't really do orders. And again, I probably don't have enough experience doing orders anyway to actually use them, well, because I know there's a particular way, you should use orders rather than just, okay, that's the level I want to buy or sell at, and then put an order there. There's a lot more to it than that. But I understand candlesticks, to a good level, so I'm not going to throw that away just yet for like using market orders or anything. But I do not understand that market orders can obviously help with risk reward quite well, and it does take emotions out of the game as well, because candlestick patterns is always subjective, but whereas orders, it's either it hits that area or it doesn't. But in this case, it's obviously broken through, so there's no candlestick pattern for me to use there. So it's obviously avoided that loss. But things are definitely looking quite bullish right now. How can I get into Telegram? I've got a link to that. If you scroll to the top of the chat, there's a link that says join my Telegram at the top of the chat. Or if you check my my description as well, go through my description of this video, of this stream, you'll see my link to the Telegram there as well. Well, I don't think anyone will be on Telegram while you're on YouTube, but we'll see your £USD trade opening on your Telegram, mate. Yeah, I'll post it there anyway. But yeah, got 7 minutes or so. Looking for something like that to get involved with this guy, and targets at 1.3. I probably will secure some partials at this area here, which is not too far away from entry, but it does make sense because this is obviously a strong level of support where we rejected twice now. So to not take profit there doesn't make sense. Price could obviously come in my direction, mess around and push against me. So I definitely want to be securing some profit there. But yeah, the main target will be 1.3, maybe 1.29 if I'm feeling lucky. Can I sell pound USD? Of course, if you want to, the gaming empire. Again, it's going to be your money at stake here. I can obviously tell you what I think, what might happen in the market, but if you're risking money you can't afford to lose, then I don't think you want to put that in the hands of some other person. No matter how good of a trader they are, because that's obviously your capital. I mean, I'm going to sell pound USD. You can do what you want with it. I'm not going to tell you to sell, but yeah. I think it's best for you to probably trade in the demo account, maybe. Yeah. I mean, that's precisely it as well. I mean, yeah. I think in your situation, if you're not going to trade in a demo, just risk very, very little amount of money, something you can afford to lose. Because yeah, you don't really need my permission to sell. It's completely up to you. I mean, the trade will either do one or two things. You either make money or lose money, and if you can lose the money, and it's not going to be the end of the world, then happy days. If you make money, happy days as well. And Bitcoin's looking interesting as well. We're keeping this guy, keeping an eye on this guy to see if it breaks through 44, because if it does break through 44, I think Bitcoin could dive, because this rally we've seen over the past few days looks like it could be the next level high for Bitcoin. This rally here, in proportion to this rally here. We saw a nice spike, we rallied, dropped. This could be the next level high, reference to that point there before another push. I think if we do clear 44k, if we can hold that as resistance, I do think we can see something like that happen. Obviously, things are still looking quite bullish. If you're looking at this part of Bitcoin here, it definitely does look bullish. There's no arguing against that. And if we hold this as support, yeah, we could push higher back into 50k, and then we'll see what happens there. But if we get underneath that, I think Bitcoin could be heading down south back into 30k potentially. So I've got my eyes on this area here, because as a swing trader, that's looking like a really good swing to be a part of. You know, if we can break through that 44k, a real retest, get some shorts on there, get some really nice risk to reward as well. Obviously the buys, you know, I'm not writing off Bitcoin back to highs potentially, but I think I want to see 50k cleared first. Clear 50k, and then I'll possibly be back on the hype for Bitcoin. Back on the hype, back to what, 70k? Yeah, we didn't quite get to 70k, 69k, 69k, and then maybe 8k after that. But we will see. But yeah, guys, I will be live again tomorrow, like always, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. GMT. I keep forgetting, but if you are enjoying the stream, you know, feel free to leave a like on the video. I keep forgetting to mention that. But yeah, if you are enjoying the stream, guys, feel free to leave a like. It does help the stream out, it helps the channel out as well. If you haven't done already, you know, subscribe, join the family, everyone's welcome. And yeah, hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams in the future and any uploads as well. And also, if you want to see specific videos and specific I can't say the word, content, you know, please leave it in the chat so I can get those ideas out for you guys, for different videos, of course. But yeah, if you are enjoying the content, guys, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, share. And if you do want to join the Telegram channel, link to that in the description. And also, if you scroll to the top of the chat, there's a link to that there as well. But yeah, all eyes on pound. About a minute 30 seconds away from minute 40 seconds from closing. I mean, that is so true. Yeah, I mean, no problem. I'll see you on Telegram as well. But yeah, I mean, it's so true. I mean, that's why when people ask on the stream, like, should I buy this? What trade should I get into? I mean, I don't really want to say, even though, you know, I analyze a chart, I'll say what I think will happen, I'll say what trades I'm in or what trades I'm looking to enter. But I know for a fact they're going to be risking live capital, and not all the time it's going to be live capital. not all the time it's going to be live capital they can afford to risk. So yeah, I don't want to say get into this trade and then they lose it and then they're frustrated. So yeah, if you're ever going to enter a trade, always make sure you're risking something you could afford to lose. And that's the thing with trading. You're gonna lose money, you're gonna make monies, but it's what's comes out on top is your winnings more than your loss. If it is, cool, you're good to go. If it's the other way around, then you just need to put some more work in. But yeah, I will be entering this trade now. It's about close in 15 seconds, so I will be getting involved in this trade. There's stop loss around about there. I'll finalize everything. I'll post it in the Telegram group chat for everyone else. With targets down at 1.3 and partials around here. But yeah, I'll be looking to get into pound. How the euro close? Nothing really there. USD CAD, still want to see a bit more. So yeah, pound USD, we'll be getting to some shorts from that one. We're posting into the Telegram now, but yeah, the stream is over, guys. I will be live again tomorrow, so I do hope I see you, all of you there tomorrow for the stream. 10 a.m. start and 12 p.m. Finish. But yeah, I'm going to enter this pound trade now, so hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.
What?